fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. And this is your closing bell, Thursday, July 7th, 2022. Happy Thirsty Thursday. As yes, the weekend is almost here. Yes, everyone survived 4th of July. It's a short week. A lot of people didn't reach back. It's tough to get guests, especially this time of year. People have other things going on, kids out of school, summer vacations, cottages, yada, yada, yada. But, I'm looking back, we've had a great week here. Wednesday is always our trip across the border with Andrew McGinnis. Last night on the closing bell, myself and Riley had the one and only Dubs Anderson, who is always worth the price of admission. This morning, we had B2B Rob on from Beating the Book, which we're going to do a lot more shows together. Was blessed and honored to meet him in March. Have his producer here, Kiefer Madness, working with us now. And you know what? I'm going to say F you. I'm going to say it. We had planned on having Dan Alexander come on as usual on Friday to talk lacrosse Premier League. It's a week off. And he will be backstage with me and Kiefer at 1:30 tomorrow. We're going to be talking some back-end stuff. And you know what? The old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. And in our lanes, there's big check marks. There's guys with a bazillion followers. They get a lot of notoriety. They don't know jack shit about our lanes. And I'm kind of fed up with it, You put the work in, you put the time in. We're coming up on our 8th full year of public service. January 1st, 2015 is when East Coast Sports Investors went public on Twitter, and the rest has been history. And I'm not here to toot my own horn. I don't have the monies or the team, the production staff, the marketing $250 million budget to compete with the DraftKings, the FanDuels, the Barstools, and all those people. But we put out content with experts, the people that know what the hell they're talking about, people that you can call up in a spot that will give you the breakdown of the NBA Summer League, a la Mr. Julian Edlow from DraftKings, okay? I can call up Dubs Anderson that will give you inside information on the Scottish Open. We got Bernie Fratto from Fox Radio that comes on religiously. We have the mayor himself, the real Vegas Dave, that comes on at least every other week for us. So you know what? We're going to do something a little special. We're going to blow this roof top off. We're going to hope for August 1st. So we'll keep you in the weeds till then. But we got some big stuff coming, and we got some big things, some big irons in the fire. So we thank you, our loyal listeners, our own brigade, or however you want to call the East Coast Sports Investors followers. We thank you. Without you, there would be none of us. And a shout out to my man, D-Mac. He talked to me a couple weeks ago. He's like, Jeff, for someone that can't pick totals, you're hitting it about 85, 90%. Stick to them. And I have to say, in the last 2 weeks, we've been hitting the team totals. I think we're on to something on the plus money side there. We've hit some nice over-unders. We're up 3 units going into today. And it's funny because we're taking, like last night, we had the Angels team total over 4.5 plus 130. Now, as I sent the alert out, some people made it clear that they got 3.5 minus 130 on DraftKings. So I resent the alert out. So whether you got 3.5 minus money or 4.5 plus 130, we're up 3 units. There's a game today that I know Riley's looking at, and if I was to talk about a team total, it was his former pitcher. It's a rematch, and it almost looks like that sucker bet. But Riley's going to be live at the Windy City with Bo Breesky versus Mr. Cease himself. So let's bring him in so we can get him out of here, so we can get over to the stadium. The one and only Mr. Riley Magnuson. Afternoon, Riley.
Afternoon, my friend. Hey, no rush on my part over here. I've got plenty of time to get over to the south side on free T-shirt night. Can you, before we get going, can you take a guess? I will most likely be sitting about a dozen rows behind the White Sox dugout. I did not pay for that ticket specifically, but can you take a wild guess at how much I paid for tonight's ticket? Upper decker seat is where I paid, but that's not where I'm going to be sitting tonight.
How much did you pay for the upper deck seat or where you're
Yeah.
sitting?
Yeah,
Okay.
for that one, I'll be a dozen rows behind the White Sox dugout. But how much would you guess?
Secondary market,
It was Tick Pick. We'll give him a free shout out, Tick Pick. So kind of like SeatGeek, yeah.
$8.
I can count on one hand. It'll be a whopping $3 that I am going into tonight's game. Every once in a while, almost every day, I look at these prices. Anytime it's that low, they're almost paying you to go to the damn game. So, like I said, I'll probably be sitting about a dozen rows behind the White Sox dugout for $3. So, nonetheless, yeah, I'm excited. We got Cease and Priesky. I've seen Cease a couple times, and he's been lights out both times for me. So I'm excited to go once again to see him pitch. He's been a monster. So. Yeah, you said it. I'm ready to rock and roll with whatever you got. We've got some a hell of a slate going on tonight already. I think what is it, 3 going on, still live in action right now. Astros got a 3-2 lead over the Royals. I think the Royals got them last night, so Astros trying to bounce back. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Pittsburgh 4-1 over the Reds right now, and then early in Philadelphia, Washington's up 1-0 on the Phillies. So I'm ready to head wherever you want to, my friend. I know it's we talked pretty extensively about the Scottish Open yesterday, and round 1's done with today. So not sure if we got anything there, but I'm ready to head wherever you want to.
Well, speaking of the Scottish Open, we had B2B on this morning, and again, unfortunately, the round was going off. So he talked about he stayed away a lot on the first round. He hit JT Poston first round leader last week at like plus 6,000.
Yeah.
So he was smart to stay back and stay away there. Kind of the Chilean that comes out. What do you go 9 under today?
Trigali, I believe so. 9 under right now. 3-shot lead, I think.
Yeah, and as we were talking, you could have got him plus 450, and B2B says anyone takes him plus 450 right now, you got to be softer than a sneaker full of you know what. But we talked about it a week before the major. Some of the big dogs come out of the gate, maybe 1 over, 2 over. They see themselves 11 shots back. The mindset is, all right, maybe I get that 4, 5, 6 under, because the splits from the morning to this afternoon is almost a 4-shot difference. I saw our friend Rick Gaiman posting that before we came on live. If you were to look at tonight and take like a Xander or some of the bigger names, are you thinking that they go for the gusto, or do they pull the plug and say, hey, you know what, we'll use tomorrow is we'll work on our fade, we'll work on our draw, and we'll just get the hell out of Dodge and get ready for the Open next week?
Yeah, I'm not going to be too aggressive on it. There's a couple of guys that we talked about at length yesterday that I think are still in that spot where they can, feel like they can jump back into it. That's the guys at 1 over Fitzpatrick, Zalatoris, Morikawa. I'm staring at right here. Those guys I think can still, turn things around. But a guy like we talked about him yesterday. A guy like Scotty Scheffler, I could absolutely see him kind of, phoning it in here, as far as competing at winning this damn thing. I think that's a guy that maybe I would stay away from. I'm trying to think who else is down here. There was one other, Tommy Fleetwood. Actually, that was one where we talked about pretty nicely yesterday. I was interested. Dub said he was more interested in him at St. Andrews. I would imagine maybe one more, if he, in round 2, I would expect a little bit of a turnaround there. And if not, obviously he needs to make the cut. But if he's kind of on the, at the back end of the cut, maybe he's not going hell's, all full send on Saturday and Sunday. And then, a guy like Hideki Matsuyama, I could see kind of being in the category we're talking about here, right at 3 over. And then Justin Thomas, I would say, is kind of a wild card. I'm not sure what to expect out of him. But, those guys that are at 1 over there, I would still be keeping an eye out for sure. Zalatoris, Morikawa, and then there was one more. and what did I say? Zalatoris, Morikawa, and Fitzpatrick. I'm sorry, Fitzpatrick was the other one who coming out. Russ, obviously, he hasn't played since the U.S. Open, so to see him not really go, 3-4 over and see him kind of lingering around, I think is a good sign, and maybe he can shake some rust off and have a nice Friday and get himself into, make the cut, obviously, and then maybe have a nice Saturday and put himself into contention. That would be one I'm looking at for sure.
Well, I will be checking the odds overnight, and then, like I said, when do they tee off our time? Is it around midnight?
My time, I don't know what the earliest time is. I know, about 1 a.m. maybe my time, so maybe 2 a.m. your time. It was about 1 a.m. 2 a.m., yeah.
Okay. MLB. We have kind of changed on the fly the last week to 10 days. I've decided enough's enough. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. It didn't matter how we got into a first five, how we got into a full game. Hollywood couldn't script some of these endings. No lead was safe, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. It just didn't matter. So we dove into some team totals. We dove into some under-overs. The team totals especially, taking some numbers with some big plus money. Listen, I'm not going into the layups, the 4.5 minus 150. Yeah, if they get there, they get there. But if you lose, you need to go 2-0 to make up that half unit there, a unit and a half it is.
Right.
As we get closer to the All-Star break, are you starting to see any changes in what you're seeing, what you're looking, and what you're investing in?
Yeah, totally kind of what you're saying exactly right now. I mean, how I look at these in general, I typically like to find an edge with a certain offense against a certain pitcher, and I kind of have that, the same with what you're saying, where just random collapses that you can't really explain, or what, I feel really confident this team's going to put up 4 or 5 runs today against this pitcher, and they do, but then the pitcher on that you need to hold things down gives up 6-7 runs, and you're staring at a 10-5 loss or something like that. So I am absolutely with you. I've been changing things up a little bit. Not reading too far into, there's line movement that I've seen that matters, but not reading too far into it, not letting that be the, the sole reason I do or don't take something, and just, kind of trusting if I see an offense that I like that's going to put up some runs, that's been more true for me than anything. So I'm kind of right in line along with you as far as moving on the fly and switching to some team totals for the most part here.
SoCal DGen, good friends with him. He puts me on a thread with the mayor himself, Matt Peralta, and a bunch of others out there in Vegas. Mets off a loss are now 21-0 to the run line. Now, you know me. I'm the fan. I'm the one that says right side, wrong result a ton of times. Last night, if you had the Mets run line, please donate something to your local charity, to the MSPCA, because they were down 3-2, top of the ninth. They magically tied the game 3-3. And then in the top of the 10th, they don't score 1 run. I think they scored 5 runs, and they covered the run line. And the Yankees, but everyone says they're not going to lose 2 in a row to the Pirates. Dave Sharapan, B-How, both at the game, doing a live broadcast on sports wagering. Hour and a half rain delay, tight game early. I see 3-0. I see 5-0. I see 8-0. And then in comes a regular player, and he gives up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, 16-0. How big are you into the trends?
With baseball, not as much. There are certain trends in certain sports that not blindly following them, but if it's a specific off of a football off of a bye week at home in this situation, there are certain trends in basketball and football that I absolutely love, and I think are not just BS like that. This Mets one that we're talking about, it's the prime example of what you were talking about. If you weren't there for the wedding, I'm not coming to the funeral, and last night should have been the funeral. That line stunk to high hell for a team as good as the Mets up against a team as bad as the Reds. So and that's kind of what it is as far as not trying to read too far into lines, because because games like that can flip on a head, well past the point of what you thought was control. So a trend like that, I'm not going to be riding. I'm not touching anytime soon. I don't care if it goes to 35-0. I'm still not touching that one. So in baseball, not as much, and even just head-to-head matchups, those trends are. I like almost fade trends in baseball because that is the one sport where you can almost certainly bet on regression at some point, depending on what it is. So no, not so much in baseball for me.
Well, we got a decent slate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 10 games. Locally, the Yanks are coming. I can tell you that the locals are not feeling too strong here with this 4-game set against the Yankees, to the point where they said, hey, Yanks, if you give us 1 game, we'll give you the 3. Can you get out of Dodge? They're almost thinking of a 4-game sweep. In comes Cole against the rookie Winkowski. I don't know what to expect there. I think Walker on Friday, undecided on Saturday, and then Pavetta looking to bounce back on Sunday. So the slate is yours. I can't wait till you get to that 1 game I want to talk about, because we did cash on the team total when it was at Colorado, and it's almost like they're baiting me to come back, but we'll get to that. The stage is yours.
Let's start in Boston because I had some questions and thoughts just in general as far as Cole versus Winkowski. Winkowski, you kind of mentioned, not sure what to expect. He's been pretty solid. I think 5 outings so far. The last 4, 5 innings or more started, 2 or less runs. So I don't know, asking you, is that who he is, or should we expect a regression because those 5 lineups that he's faced is Baltimore, Oakland, Detroit, Cleveland, and the Cubs. So not exactly a murderer's row that he's faced so far. And now you're rolling in the Yankees to town. So, should we expect, regardless of tonight, should we expect this type of solid performance from Winkowski on an average night, or are we going to definitely see some regression here at some point?
Well, I can tell you last night that the Red Sox Nation was in awe. We were ready. We were primed because Bello was getting his major league debut. Now, there was some talk way down the line, Pedro, but not of vintage Pedro, but a changeup, quick to the plate, great head on his shoulders, looked okay in the first inning, got some pitches up into the second inning, and then reality. And the Sox, again, offense not there. They lose 2 out of 3, 2 in a row to Tampa. So now expectations are low. The Sox have had success against Cole. There's other times that he has looked good. I think it's a number, honestly, that opened at 155. They're baiting you to take the Yankees tonight. That's my first thing.
Yeah.
Second of all, they're coming off a 16-run outing last night. I can see the public diving in, Yankees first 5 minus the hook. I can see them diving in, Yankees minus a 1.5 against the back end of the Red Sox. I'm staying away. I think the Sox are sneaky tonight. I think that they could bounce back. I think Devers will be back. He wasn't in it at all during the Rays series. I think you'll know early, but I lean Sox, but I'm staying away.
I like what you said. I think you'll know early. And, I'm not taking a side as far as money line or anything. I'm actually going because I looked back. Garrett Cole, not torched by any means, but he consistently gives up about 3-4 runs to this Red Sox team. You get the 16 spot yesterday. A lot of people like to expect regression from, a team like that. I'm interested in the Red Sox team total in this one. It's only 3.5. As far as the Red Sox getting over 3.5, I could see them putting up 2-3 on Cole and maybe getting to the bullpen a little bit. So I'm taking a small swing at the team total in this one. The 8.5, as far as the Yankees regression after a monster outing yesterday, was really what shied me away from the full game. 8.5 over in this one, so that's why I went with the Red Sox. But and then Winkowski kind of to me a little bit of question marks kind of still kept me out of the full game as well. So I'm going Red Sox team total over 3.5 in this one.
And I'll just throw in if Devers is in the lineup. Do you have the lineup in front of you?
Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Red Sox, Devers is hitting number 2 tonight. He is in the lineup. Yep.
I would take a swing at him at a homer. First game back in a few days. I think you can probably get around plus 400 or change there. Let's see what happens with Mr. Devers there. How's that?
I like it. He's 5 for 21 in his career against Garrett Cole. 4 of his 5 hits are bombs. So I do not dislike that at all. I like that right there. We'll move on. Angels and Orioles, interesting two teams here. Silseth and Jordan Lyles here. Angels, you were talking about a little bit. They just ended a 4-game losing streak. I believe Baltimore is on a little bit of a 4-game win streak. But both these guys are a little hit or miss. Silseth has been real shaky. So I don't really know where to go in this one. What I will say, I think it was you that tweeted Mike Trout is so far in July is struggling at the plate to some degree here. Not sure if that turns around tonight, but he is 8 for 18 in his career versus Jordan Lyles with a couple bombs lifetime. So I don't know if you buy into him turning around versus Lyles or not. But aside from all of that, any thoughts from you on this one?
Well, we had the team total over 4.5 last night. He got up in the third inning, first and third, 2 outs, and he struck out. And then he gets up in the fourth inning, bases loaded, and he got hit by a pitch, and then Ohtani knocks 2 in. So he's getting up there with guys on base. He is just in a funk of all funks. The pesky Orioles, as we like to say, versus the Angels, who's like 28th or 29th in offense the last 10 days. I've seen a lot on Twitter with the Orioles side here. Maybe that Angels get jump started with yesterday's game. I don't know. I'm going to stay away. What I really thought was kind of strange was an under-over that opened at 9 is down to 8.5. So maybe they're thinking a 4-3 game here.
Yeah, and I saw on one certain spot, it was Baltimore over a flat 4, -118. Angels over 4.5 at -102. But, I too many question marks for me. I'm staying away from this one as well. Let's see, Miami and the Mets here in this one. Castano and Williams. Miami just broke a 6-game win streak. Is that long enough for you to think they go 2 losses in a row, or maybe that's not a long enough win streak, or is that what you're thinking tonight?
That's usually the play right there. Anywhere in that 6, 7, 8 range is usually they lose, and then they travel. Now they're to the Miami played the Angels last night, so yeah. They go from Miami to New York. I'm not a big Williams guy, but with that said, I think the number there again, if you want to try to get cute, Mets first 5 minus the hook, I could see that. I could see a full game run line. It's an 8. So I can see that 5-3, 5-2 game somewhere in there.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, if I'm going anywhere, and I'm not going anywhere, I might be interested in the over in this one. Castano just saw the Mets a couple weeks ago and was pretty good. I'd be willing to bet on a little regression on his part, so I might expect a few runs, maybe, kind of like you said, 5-3, maybe 6-3, something like that. This game 1 is still going on. Last I checked, we did not have. We were still undecided as far as the doubleheader for Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Are you interested in going? Pittsburgh's actually up 4-2 in the bottom of the 9th. So if that one holds, interested in taking the Reds in game 2, or are you just staying far away from that one?
No, I like that thought process, especially with two teams that are kind of sort of evenly matched. We like to say the pesky Pirates, they've been playing better. I know Scott's a big Contreras fan. They just got to hold on here now. I'd be very, very interested. I'm going to try to hold off and wait to see what the team total for Cincinnati would be. I'm not a big Wilson guy. I think Cincinnati could bounce back here with a vengeance. So I'm holding back to see if we can get a team total there on Cincinnati for game 2.
Okay, I like it. St. Louis and Atlanta. I'm not sure how do you even pronounce it. Liberator. I'm not sure how you say that. Versus Spencer Strider. Liberator has been very hit or miss for St. Louis. St. Louis, 4 straight losses. They're probably hitting their worst stretch of the season so far. Strider I think he's got a sub-3 ERA. Not as still cutting his teeth here. Pretty young guns here in this one. Line, Braves getting all the respect in this one. Do you think that's accurate with these young pitchers here, or is this time for the Cardinals to bounce back, or you think they're in the dumpsters for a little while longer here?
St. Louis is just cold as ice offensively, and looking at the team totals, looking at the under-over, or 9 juiced over, 2 things are going to happen here. Either the Braves are putting up a touchdown, extra point, 2-point conversion, or St. Louis is finally going to wake up. This Strider kid has been lights out. Liberatore, as you said, has been absolutely very hittable. So I was actually looking at Atlanta team total. Do you have that in front of you? Is it a 5.5?
I can get it real quick. It is potentially moving up to 5.5 in certain spots. I'm sure it's 5 in a lot of spots, though.
So two things, like I said, either St. Louis is finally going to wake up and make a game of this, or it's going to be Atlanta box to wire here. I saw some good plus money at 5.5 at DraftKings. Maybe Atlanta plus 120 over the 5.5. I tell you what, if you don't have DraftKings Sportsbook, you don't have stake doesn't have to be legal. You can pull it up. They have some props in there. The one in this that really blew my mind is you could do a prop of Strider to get the win at like minus 115. But what really jumped out, Liberatore to get the win plus 600. They were giving you 6-1 on that, which blew my mind. So DraftKings is telling you right away that Strider's leaving with the lead. And do they hold on? But go to anyone watching and listening here, just pull up the app. I know you got the DFS app. Just hit Sportsbook because they got a bazillion props. And listen, I'm not the prop junkie, the prop king or anything, but it makes your eyes really open up at some of them.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's actually the team total's on the move. It's minus 110 at 5.5 now for the Braves. So they're people must have been smashing that one a little bit. So, that one's a good one to keep your eyes out on. And then next one up, I will be in attendance for this one, Detroit and the White Sox, Bo Brisky and Dylan Cease. I've got a lot of thoughts on this one, obviously. I have some extensive thoughts on the White Sox in general. I don't know where to start, but Bo Brisky's 6.09 ERA on the road so far this season, been a lot worse on the road. And he's actually, so the White Sox are obviously better typically against left-handed pitchers, but Brisky's got some reverse splits to where he's actually, he's a right-handed pitcher, but he's held down lefties very well this season. But versus righties, 282 batting average allowed, 321 OBP, 537 slugging. For the White Sox, you get Eloy Jimenez back in the lineup. They hit 3 or 4 home runs yesterday. Finally an outbreak of getting the ball in the air. And against this Tigers team, I'm not just trying to sound like a homer here, but this Detroit team for this White Sox group has been the best medicine that you can possibly find anywhere. Abreu, this is, the team that Abreu becomes Superman against. Tim Anderson has been fantastic. Moncada, Eloy, everybody destroys this team. I can't say enough about it. And then you have Dylan Cease, who's obviously been, top 5 Cy Young talk, I would say. He's 10-0 in his career against this Tigers team, Jeff, over 11 starts with a 1.91 ERA. So if I'm me and I'm the homer that I am, trying to be as unbiased, I still think this White Sox team starts to this is a series where they find some momentum, and I think this is probably one of the better spots for it. They are 22-8 last 30 against this Tigers team, dating back to 2020. But you're obviously paying a little bit of a tax to get to the odds now, about minus 120 on the run line, which I do think the White Sox covered that run line, but obviously that's a little bit of a tax. But you go to that team total, and it's 4.5. On the book that I saw, minus 120 for the run line, it's minus 120 for over 4.5. So personally, I think the Sox team gets to at least 5 runs. And the bullpen is still kind of a question mark for me. Liam Hendricks and Kendall Graveman pitched yesterday. They had the day off before that. So if it's a tight one, I imagine they'll be, at least one of them will be ready to go. But I would say that's a little bit of a question mark. So personally, I would like the team total a little bit more if I'm loving the White Sox than I do the run line tonight. Any thoughts from you that you can add on there, or maybe you completely disagree with me altogether?
No, I piggyback off of that. Bo had shown a handful of flashes. That's been nothing but regression of late. Maybe you could, like you said, this is the series that jumpstarts you into the last week to 2 weeks before the break. You got a Cease guy that we had, I want to say last start, wasn't it against the Giants? And he was leaking a little.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I think it was the last series that the Giants actually hit the ball before last night. And I told everyone on the show yesterday, we had the Giants the night before. That was our first 5 and our full game run line with Rondon. We lost. Then we come back with them with the team total over 5.5. They scored 2 runs. I told everyone this last night on the show. I am not on the Giants team total. I am not on the game, but I guarantee you 2 things. They hit the team total and they hit the game, and they hit both there yesterday. Yep. So I like where your eyes are. I would actually go team total I think they get that done. I think they get it done early too.
Yeah, I think that's way. Yeah, I think there's a lot more value there. And another thing, as far as looking at props, I'm not telling you to take this prop, but lending you to believe that maybe Cease is going to be good tonight. They're making you pay a tax. I know a lot of people like to take his over strikeouts. I saw over 8.5, but it was at -130. So they're really making it tough for you to paying a tax to get 9 or more strikeouts. Not advising that, because he could be absolutely fantastic and have 7 or 8 strikeouts, right? So, but that at least lends me to believe that maybe the books think he's going to be good at least, tonight in his home stadium tonight. But moving on, you were just talking about them, San Francisco and San Diego. Webb and Musgrove here tonight. I know I saw it on your face yesterday. You got the sour taste from this Giants team right now. Musgrove, obviously, a little bit of regression the last 2, actually, and a couple hitters, 2 or 3 hitters in this Giants lineup have hit him pretty well. Jock Peterson, 6 for 12 lifetime, 5 extra base hits for Musgrove most notably, but the over-under is all the way down at 6.5. This Padres offense has been pretty damn cold this last week. Are you liking this Giants team, or are you just they've soured you too much to where you've got no interest in touching this one at all?
I'm sour. I'm bitter. I'm telling you right now, though, it's a Giants number in my eyes. It opened at 141. It's down to 140 at our friends at Circa. A Logan Webb that now away from home cooking has showed he's been leaking some oil. It was, I think, against Cease. It was like a 5-4 game after 5-6-4. I expect him to bounce back. I will tell everyone this. I will not be on the Giants first 5. I will not be on the Giants full game. I will not be on their team total. It's a 6.5. I like the Giants today. I do.
Okay. Yeah, he was a 2.08 ERA in the month of June against the Sox. It was 6 innings, 6 hits, 500 runs, 5 runs total. 3 of them were earned, so 200 runs there. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one as well. The one that we've been teasing a little bit here, Colorado and Arizona, Austin Gomber and Dallas Keuchel. I'll tell you what, the money line has me terrified to high hell to be back in the Colorado Rockies in this situation, as far as how aggressively I've been fading Dallas Keuchel. However, this is a train that I have been on, even when he was on my White Sox team. A rare time where I actually will fade the White Sox. It was with Dallas Keuchel on the mound. I'm not going to the money line, Jeff. I am, however, interested in taking the Rockies team total over 4.5 at around -110, assuming that there's nothing that leads to me believe that Dallas Keuchel is going to bounce back and regress positively in any fashion. If it is, he'll give up 4 runs and maybe we'll leak one across in the last 5 innings or so. Am I crazy with this number, or what are your thoughts here?
I think it looks too easy because we've been on the same train. I was on the Rockies when they faced about 5 days ago, and we got the team total over. I think if you go to DraftKings or wherever you're shopping, you can. And here's something I really tease you with. I saw a Colorado team total first 5 at over 2.5.
Oh, goodness gracious! You're talking my language now.
I saw it at DraftKings. Hold on. Now, call me crazy here. And by the way, the Pittsburgh did close it out 4-2. Okay. I'm going to go there right now. I'm going to make sure I'm not talking out of the side of my neck here.
No, I see it right here. Over 2.5 at -120.
First 5, right?
First 5, yeah. Over 2.5 against Dallas Keuchel. He had one game this year where it was 0 runs, but it was just I think it was against the Red Sox at Fenway. Maybe it was at home in Chicago. I don't remember, but the ball was getting torn off just straight into everyone's gloves. The interesting splits, though, as far as the full game on DraftKings, over 4.5 is at -135. So that's a steep tax. I caught it over on FanDuel about -114 though. So a little bit of a different price there. But I wish. It's not too late. I have to jump into that first 5 over 2.5, no doubt. Can I get an alternate 4.5 for the first 5? For goodness sake, my goodness! He's been absolutely terrible. If he bounces back and he's good, I will eat my words. I have no problem, and I will most likely be back on the fade train the time after that. So, the money line it is scary, and this is another situation where I'd have all the faith in the world in Colorado's offense, but then, it would not shock me at all if Arizona beat the shit out of Austin Gomber over here tonight. That would not surprise me at all tonight.
As we speak on Dawn Best, Cincinnati has announced Jay Hoffman. So as the starter there, I still have no line yet and no under-overs. I would just the gut with Wilson and Hoffman. My gut would say 9 would be your under-over. You're probably going to get 4.5 on the Cincy total. I'll be interested to see what that comes out.
Yeah, yep, still not seeing it. I was seeing if we had an update or not. Only a couple more, I do believe. I've got no true thoughts on this one as well. I just wrote this one down, wrote the starters down. The Cubs in LA for the Dodgers. Leiter Jr. versus Gonsolin, who I think is 10-0. Dodgers laying about -275. Any way to get into this one whatsoever, or nothing here?
I thought that yesterday's game was going to be one of those, 7-3 games, 7-2, and I fell asleep to it, to be honest with you. The Dodgers just go into these modes where it's almost like they play grab ass. Hey, if someone puts a crooked number up on them, they'll bounce back and they'll score early and often. But they can't go through 0-0 through 3, 0-0 through 4, scratch out a hit, steal a base. It's 1-0. And so they've been phenomenal for Gonsolin. Again, the tax is too high. The Cubs are starting to get into that pesky Cubs thing. Leiter Jr. Supposed to be the next coming. That's Al's son, isn't it?
I don't know. I think he's over 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so then that's not the Leiter Jr. that I'm thinking of then.
No, this is Mark Leiter Jr.
Okay. So, I'm going to stay away. I just, again, the prices have been too high. Trying to turn gears into trying to grab the plus money sides when we can. And so it's a hard pass. I expect the Dodgers to find a way to win, though.
Yeah, 100% with you. Last one, this one's the late game. I don't know about you. I still saw undecided for Toronto versus Seattle and Marco Gonzalez. So if that's what you're seeing, then I don't think we have anything to mention too much here, other than should we be expecting some regression from Marco Gonzalez here at some point? The guy's been pretty damn solid over the last month or so. He was 2.9 ERA in June, 2 earned runs last time out. Should we be expecting some Marco Gonzalez regression anytime soon, maybe tonight at all?
When I see a lefty versus Toronto, my eyes light up. It's only an 8 and a hook, which scares me. I don't know who they're going to roll out. Toronto, they're still -130 to 135 on the Vegas Strip. William Hill being the square that they are is at 140. Vegas is now telling you like a 5-3 game. Maybe sit and wait till tomorrow, a bigger board. You get some of the guns. I did see Gosman in one spot. I don't know if they're pulling them and they're going to wait till tomorrow. But right now at Dawn Best, I'm looking at undecided. And let me look over here. DraftKings doesn't have it up. I assume that they're waiting to see who. So I did see in one spot Gosman. So I was hoping to see a team total on Toronto here. But as of right now, it is a pass.
Yeah, I do see team total 4 on FanDuel 4.5, over 4.5 for Toronto is -110. So, and the Mariners over under 4 flat. Over 4 is at plus money for the Mariners there.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see who's pitching. Obviously, that's not a Gosman number. No. You're not going to see a 4 for Seattle, so maybe it's a bullpen game for Toronto.
Yep, I think so. I think you're right. Anything that I missed here? Anything else to mention? I think we covered just about everything, unless I skipped one over, but I don't think I did.
No, I think we covered the board. Again, guys, it's Thursday. It's a day before the weekend starts. Obviously, on a Friday, you're going to get a lot bigger board. There was 3 day games. There's a part of a doubleheader. Used to be a theory where you bet the team that loses in game 1. I'm not going to tell you to run to the window with Hoffman. I'm real interested in the Reds team total tonight. I'm not a big Wilson backer, so I'm going to hold out as long as I can there. And the Astros win 5-2. So anyone that wanted to go in, it's funny. Royals up 2-0, bottom of the 5th, and just miraculously the Astros score 3. So anyone that had the cojones to go in minus the hook, get gifted there. And then they scratch out 2. The game stays under the opening line of under over of 8. The closing line of Astros minus 330. Obviously, get it done 5-2. Anyone that grabbed the 1.5 sweated early and got 2 in the 8th to get the gifted 5-2 final.
Yep. I'm just looking at some other stuff. I was not to continue my homerism, but as far as I had a tweet thread about it, Jose Abreu against the Tigers. In 134 career games, he's batting .350 with a .409 OBP, .591 slugging, 27 bombs, and 113 RBIs. So I think I might have some Jose Abreu prop action this whole 4-game series against the Tigers. It usually works out whenever he's Superman against his team. So I'm feeling good about this weekend. We need it badly. We needed last night badly. The 9-8 pull a rabbit out of our hat all game long, basically. So. Yeah, those Twins and the Guardians are kind of fading, but those Twins are going to be a pesky force some way or another for us all season long, I think.
So I talked about Devers locally, and then as we speak, the Phillies tie it 2-2. My guess, without looking, let me guess, another Schwarber bomb. That would be my guess.
Let's see. I think I just saw. I don't know if it was a Schwarber bomb. I believe it was a. Nope, I don't think so. Sorry, it was Real Muto, I think, that had a nice RBI single or double.
Okay.
Or maybe a sac fly. Yeah, I don't think so.
Devers locally, you're talking Abreu, the return of Jimenez, and we'll throw in a Tim Anderson there. Everyone take a look at those props today. Tomorrow morning, Scott will be back for the breakfast bankroll. There will be no afternoon show. We'll be back at night for the closing bell. Saturday morning, we'll have Scott back for the breakfast bankroll. And then on Sunday, if the schedule allows us, we will have Riley back to get everyone set up for the weekend there. So still a couple weeks till the All-Star break, guys. So let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's keep grinding away. Listen, if your sneakers need some tread, go to your local Finish Line or wherever you get some sneakers. Get yourself a new pair of Nikes or some, what are they called, Sauconys or Reeboks, whatever you use for running shoes. Get ready for the second half. We're going to do a lot of college and NFL underovers, some talks about MVPs, division winners, and stuff like that. So we're going to get everyone ready for the second half of 2022. I
can't wait. I am an absolute junkie for college football and NFL, and that includes the off-season prep. I was the 30 minutes that I had to kill before the show. I was doing just any extra Big Ten preparation as far as Big Ten football is concerned. So, which is going to be a national brand, along with just about every other conference in the nation these days. So, not national yet, but we're getting there. And a month and a half away. Week 0 isn't as far as you realize. The end of August, my friends.
Yeah, and we'll do some talks behind the scene, but maybe I know you used to do some stuff on Saturdays. With your partner in crime, maybe you and I can put something together on a Saturday for an hour or a change to get everyone set up for the Big Ten, especially, and then we'll go through some other conferences, talk some big games. But the smaller games cash the same as the bigger games.
Oh, they sure do. They watch the same too. Hey, I'm a big 4-5 screen guy in the fall. So I'm a nut when it comes to football, my man.
All right, so for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson, the one. We wish everyone a blessed evening. Take a few shots here. Some team totals that we talked about, some few props. We'll be interested again to see what that Cincinnati team total is. Okay, so as we speak, Cincinnati opens up minus 135 with an under over a 9.5 juiced under right now. Again, Hoffman versus Wilson. So we'll see what that Cincinnati team total is there. We talked about Devers. We talked about Abreu, Anderson, and Jimenez on the south side. So we got a lot of stuff out there. Any questions, comments, concerns, reach out to me at EC Sports Invest. For Riley at Riley_Magnuson, the one. He will be live at the south side at that game. And I will be high above the wall there as you see the green monster. I won't be there physically, but I'll be there spiritually. So everyone have a great night, and we will catch you bright and
Excuse me.
early in the morning.